Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share a little synopsis about the next panel discussion that's coming up. The future of marketing in a technology-driven world is poised to be more dynamic, personalized, and data-centric than ever before. As technology continues to evolve, so too will the strategies and tools marketers use to engage with consumers. The panelists will explore the impact of emerging technologies on marketing strategies, discuss the opportunities and challenges that they present, and predict future trends in the marketing landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on this panel discussion, we have the illustrious set of industry experts. Please join me in welcoming these fantastic panel members, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together as we welcome Sujay Ray, Head Digital and Media Professional Products Division, L'Oreal India. Very warm welcome to you. Next, we would like to invite Ashutosh Sinha, Vice President, Distribution, NDTV. A very warm welcome to you, Ashutosh. Welcoming our next panel member, Nitin Burman, Head Revenue and Monetization, Arha Media. A very warm welcome to you. And joining us as the session chair, Mr. Anil N.M. Wanvari, Founder, Chairman, and Editor-in-Chief, IndianTelevision.com Group. Ladies and gentlemen, this panel is going to be absolutely interesting and exciting. This is the showstopper panel discussion. Over to you, sir.
Boy, oh boy. They always give me the last session when everyone's tired, fatigued, and everyone wants to go home. You all guys want to be here, you all want to go home? All of you all want to go home? Okay, then we'll go ahead with the panel. All right. Thank you. So I've got a fabulous a bunch of three speakers. Sujay has been at it for a very long time. Ashutosh is with NDTV. I've got Nitin, who's with Arha Media, which brings you that lovely... How many people from Telangana here, Andhra Pradesh? Anyone who speaks Telugu? Nobody from Telangana. God, you're going to have a tough time. Nobody speaks Telugu. But let's get on with the CTV side. What's the excitement around CTV? Who wants to take this up? Why is CTV becoming exciting all of a sudden? Who wants to take it up?
I think you're looking at me and probably go ahead and answer.
Yeah, please go ahead. I know you didn't have a chance. Can we get a coffee for Sujay? Somebody get a coffee for him.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You have always been kind. First of all, a very warm good evening to everyone. And I know it's always difficult to do the post-lunch session or the last session of the day.
Yes.
Because you are between either the lunch or the drinks. Absolutely. That's what typically happens. We would try to make it as interesting and knowledge sharing. We'll try to share our knowledge. But I think you have put a very interesting point. What is so interesting about CTV? I think the most interesting part is that the way consumer behavior and consumer consumption pattern has changed. That is something interesting which we'll have to see. And that has actually created I would say, a tectonic shift in the last 3 to 4 years. You can say it pre-Geo, post-Geo, or you can say pre-COVID, post-COVID. There were two waves I would see, and that is where probably a lot of change has happened. The first wave ensured that a lot of consumption moved from linear and analog format to digital. The second wave also ensured that how people have started consuming personalized content or content which is like very much on a 6-inch screen first, and then now it has translated into a bigger screen because yes, the cord cutting phenomena is very much starting to, we can start see it happening. But the interesting point is that how the content creators have also evolved, and we have two fantastic fellow panelists and they'll be able to share their point of view, is that the way everyone has pivoted around this new shift is amazing. And that is when I see it's not like that people have stopped watching or stopped consuming content from those legacy platforms. It is just that the legacy platforms have pivoted themselves because they are cognizant of the choices of the consumers. And yeah, on that note, I'll probably take my first pause.
Yeah, so I'll move on to somebody. Let me go back to legacy now. So your legacy platform, then we'll go on to the more digital side of the equation. So what's exciting about CTV?
So I think I should take offense to legacy.
अरे यार उसको take
I
offense
wanted
with
to.
him.
I was aware that he will end up saying something like this, but when I say a legacy, I come from a point of view with a lot of pride. And just to give you a context, just to give you a context, I have been an NDTV watcher since the time it was a 1-hour show on DD1.
The World This Week.
World This Week. Yeah.
So lovely. I'm glad that you still remember that, and that's the legacy we bring in. We're proud of that. But
So it is legacy. You accept it?
now we're pivoting to a new age thing. So Joy said just to add to his point, what is exciting for us is that
Not for you, overall. What's so exciting about
so
CTV?
exciting is that it is like people are switching between screens, seamlessly switching between screens. So for us or for anyone, it gives you an incremental reach to reach out to these audiences. Also, the new age audiences are now moving away from the traditional.
Can I request you to look at the audience and speak at the mic? I'm not good looking.
So
Because so that we're losing you when you're shifting your face.
So the new age audiences, who've moved on from this appointment viewing, for us it gives us opportunity to reach out to them who have increasingly moved on to connected TV or the new age mediums. So I think those are two things that is really exciting on the connected TV space. Plus, it also gives us an opportunity that a lot of content that is not available on TV, we get an increased opportunity on an enhanced platform now to make that content available. More people to come and sample content which is traditionally not been on TV, which is where we speak about the emergence of FAST. A lot of content that we have not available in linear format, we can now make it available to these audiences on a connected TV platform.
So, okay, I got your point because you may answer all the question I'm going to put throughout the next rest in one conversation. So let's move on to Nitin. Almost every TV that's being bought today is a connected TV. It's a smart TV. So what's exciting about it?
See, first of all, as Sujay also mentioned, I think, the biggest thing is affordability. What Geo brought in was affordability of data, and people could consume, unlimited data. Nobody thought that people will start consuming 2 GB data per day, 3 GB data per day, whereas we used to pay 250 rupees for a month for 1 GB, right? So that brought a big change. If you see today TV manufacturers, a smart TV today is as low as 7,000-8,000 rupees, right? Which has again given affordability to not just the urban audience, but also it's now penetrating into the rural market, which is where it became important for platforms like us. We are a regional OTT platform. What it brings to me is when we started off, the OTT content was a handheld device, single person viewing content where people wanted to view in their own personal space because the content was edgy. Nobody wanted to know what you're watching and you wanted to watch it not with your family, right? But over the time, even platforms like us have pivoted. Because today, content is also now changing, not just from OTT is not known for only edgy content. There are docu-series, there are, very meaningful content which is being made. So people are switching from handheld small screen to a bigger screen, and they want...
Which is the connected TV screen?
Which is the connected TV screen. So that's why the audience are moving into that. From platform perspective, it gives us higher revenue because people are ready to pay for a better experience, HDs, ultra HD screening of the movies, Dolby sound system. So from audience perspective, to get that experience, they are paying us the highest subscription.
So you're programming Arha Media, keeping in mind.
In fact, if you see my programming, I do Indian Idol, I do a dance reality show because I don't have a TV channel. So to cater to audience, I'm doing non-fiction, I'm doing fiction, I'm doing movies, I'm doing daily series to reach out to women audience as well who, and my daily series are being released at 2 p.m. Today, the best part of my OTT is 34% viewership is on CTV, which is one of the highest in AP Telangana region on my platform. Why? Because I am staying away from edgy content. I am doing a family clean content where people are proud to see it together. They're not ashamed of watching the content with their family around. So they're happy to watch it. And second thing which I'm actually doing is there are some old movies, right? Which people want to watch it in 4K. Like if I have to give you an example, if you get a chance to watch a movie like Sholay or Andaz Apna Apna, which is like a cult movie, and you want to watch it on a 85-inch screen at your home, but their original prints will get pixelated. So we are actually reworking on those old movies. We have launched Magadira in US market. And we have
Magadira?
Magadira
Wow.
in US market in 4K.
That was The
And-
Fly.
Yeah, and people are just enjoying that movie. So that's something that is also happening because of connected TV getting in. From brand side, again, who would have thought that if a brand wanted to target an audience on pin code level with connected TV, you can do that. If I know that, you know, somebody with a Apple TV or with a Samsung Smart TV in 400013 pin code is what they want to target because that's the showroom they are opening today. They can do that today. And they can advertise to the last point, which never used to happen.
Okay.
That's the strength.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Now, Sujay, when you're planning, are you planning for traditional television? Are you planning for connected TVs? Or are you planning for HD TVs? Are you planning for Ultra HD television? Or are you planning for OTT? How is your brand spend being planned?
See, when it comes to any kind of planning principles which we have, we always think consumer first. And that has been our approach. So in a consumer first kind of an approach, whether the consumer is shuffling between screens or shuffling between formats is a secondary piece. But what we try and do is reach out to the consumer. If that consumer is watching it on mobile, if that consumer is watching it on analog TV or connected TV, that's a resultant. But the planning principles remains is that, okay, consumer A, these are the viewing habits, these are the touch points. So we plan according to the touch points. Those touch points end up being an analog, digital, connected TV is a secondary thing. So, and it also depends from brands to brands. And I'll probably take a quick example. So for example, we have brands from mass to mass premium to super premium to ultra luxury. Nowhere in the world it is written as a handbook is that somebody who is a premium or ultra premium consumer doesn't watch analog TV. They also watch analog TV. They might also have a DTH connection at home, but at the same point of time, they might also be consuming a Netflix or an Arha or a Prime Video. So if you plan it consumer first, then the resultant where your impressions or GRPs are getting consumed is an outcome. But it is always an audience first approach which we look at. That will be the short answer from my end.
No, I understand. Audience first. But in terms of devices, you'll have to have different sorts of communication being served to them. You can't have the same communication being served.
Yes, that's an interesting point, and that is something I think we are very, very cognizant of because, and not just in our advertisement communication, even if you see, and there is a fantastic documentary around it, is that how OTTs are also creating their content, keeping in mind is it getting watched on a small screen or a big screen. And given the fact when you are showcasing your content in a big screen, in a connected TV format, in all its glory, you of course try to focus on a lot of on brand storytelling and all. Your content are typically, your advertisements are typically a little longish format, like a, when I'm saying longish, not like a minute, but at least a 30-seconder or a 15-seconders. Because when you're planning for a 6 inches device, it is mostly 6-seconders, 10-seconders and all. So that kind of thing which we are very, very cognizant of because where the impressions are getting served. Of course, audience first approach is one part, but we try to over-index on connected TV so that the final impressions which are getting served are on big devices because that is where you can do the storytelling with all the targeting and everything which just got mentioned is very much possible. That makes our lives as marketer very, very easy. And then there is this entire thing of frequency build-up and all those pieces that can still continue to happen on smaller devices, on other touch points. So that is how has been our simple agenda when it comes to audience planning.
Fantastic. On to you, Ashu. In terms of, you've traditionally been a satellite-delivered television network. You'll have an interesting website. You'll have interesting content which you'll put onto YouTube. You'll have your social media outlets. Connected TV has appealed to you in many ways. So tell us the many ways that it's appealing to you all in terms of serving content differently?
What we did was that linear TV, like I said, was actually what is that
I
drove.
called it not legacy, I called it linear. Okay?
Yes. So linear TV was what actually drove the early adoption of connected TV. But over the years, what we have done, like I said, is that now we have a clear set of audience that we can define. And like I said before also, now we're trying to create content which has not been on TV. Uh, like some examples could be like food tech, which we see across our entertainment and lifestyle, with all the reels that you see. The new age audiences are very, very attracted to that. And we have when we create so much content around lifestyle, which we put in very small pieces on the linear pit. Now this gives us an opportunity to take the full length and breadth of the content on a connected TV platform for those audiences. So that is where we are seeing that traction happening. And we can create those sampling for that content on connected TV. I think those are two things. Second, a lot of my content, which are very long format, like we do these live events, which we can't put it on TV for the full duration because we have other news coming in. Now this connected TV is giving me a opportunity to put it as a branded destination and air the full 2 days of content or 1 day of content or any live event on that platform, which I don't get the flexibility to do on TV. So those are some new opportunities that are coming up. We're also working with brands now or advertisers saying that, and we sell as TV plus digital. And the incremental reach that they bring in is an incremental revenue opportunity for us. So a lot of platforms have come up to saying that we'll give you the incremental reach, you get us the brand association. There's a couple of things that is exciting for us on the connected TV space.
Yeah. So what are the opportunities for you all? I mean, you all have an OTT. Are you all creating fast as well? Or are you all leaving that to your cousin sister or cousin brother TV9?
No. So we are also planning that, but lot of opportunities, right, from connected TV perspective, even from when it comes to brands. The kind of innovations that you're able to do in your app when somebody is playing content on connected TV is huge. Like a simple innovation as called as pause ads. The moment you pause your content, the ad starts playing. I can even change the pause button to a brand logo, right? Like if, say, for example, KitKat comes on my platform and I can change, you pause, I can show a KitKat chocolate which says break to banta hai. And
Nice.
it's rightly placed over there, right? I can do your content is playing. I can do a mute ad which can run like a split screen ad. So all of those possibilities are there, which are making advertisers, because what is happening is otherwise people want to skip ad, right? In generally when there was linear TV, people used to change the channels when the ads used to come. So here what we are trying to do is give more and more exposure to the brands while the content is being played so that their brand gets the exposure. Secondly, today the commerce industry is also playing a very important part. Today, you have seen a very beautiful costume which is being worn by, say, for example, some leading heroine, Deepika Padukone, right? And you want to check that out. Immediately,
The costume or Deepika?
No, we can check out Deepika, but
No,
for a
not
consumer,
become a mum. That was meant as a joke.
But for a consumer, say if you want to buy that costume, and it's an impulse buying, right? Now you don't remember after watching the movie for 2 hours, but with connected TV coming in, you can actually pause it, scan it,
Video commerce.
and immediately move on to the commerce website. And like we have tie-ups with Myntra, Flipkart, where you can immediately do that scan, and it takes you on your mobile phone to buy those products. So all those possibilities have come in connected TVs, which is an interesting thing.
So Sujay, how many of these opportunities have you used as a brand, your company?
I think across the brands, we would have definitely piloted all of them because it's an exciting space. What will work, we might not have an answer today, but some of them are definitely working for us as well as a lot of competition in the industry, and we are keeping a close eye on that. Having said that, when we see these kind of opportunities, we see it across multiple lenses and what is the end objective which we are trying to drive. One can be, and they come in various formats and sizes, and I'll try to probably double click on them. So one is that your typical sponsorships and associations which also used to happen for decades. Second is that active and passive integrations within the content, which in some or the other way also used to happen earlier. And now it is like IP content which you kind of initiate with the partner, where the entire storytelling is around the brand. And that is something is a heavy investment. We have recently done that sometime earlier this year for one of our brands, L'Oreal Professional, where we kind of created a reality show out of an event where it is all about the hunt for the best hairdresser in the country, and then of course the winner goes to Paris. So that was something which we
Hats off to you.
yeah. So that is again. So but then the whole idea is that how to create a content around a profession which is not very common, first thing, and not many people know about the behind story. That it, for us it might look like that, hey, it's at the end of the day an artistry, but it is, there is a lot of hard work, effort and everything which goes behind it. So when you create a content which gives you that glimpse around the story of a hairdresser, how they do it, how some of those styles which you see on television, it actually takes 8 hours to do,
Sure.
which a lot of people don't realize. So a lot of those behind the scenes content. And then what you do is that you marry that thing with a proper amplification plan. You get the best faces to represent that. And that is how you create an engaging content. And that feeds into that overall brand narrative. So that is one territory which we have explored. And other pieces when it comes to the conversion page, which he was saying, or something like creating awareness about a new launch in a new city, because hyperlocal targeting is very much there. You can actually reach out at a pin code level. So all these pieces, I think, helps build us brand in a more holistic way. And also they are meant to drive very specific agendas. I think that flexibility that the platform that offers, so like you can scan a QR code or you can Shazam something, not like that QR code was not there. QR code was there for more than 2 decades now. But it is just that those integrations have become very easy and brands have started exploring it. Of course, now if you ask me as marketers, the biggest challenge which we get asked and tasked is that how to show the typical ROI piece, because all that fancy content, all that technology which goes behind it needs to at some point tie back to the business numbers. And that is what the struggle today is. And also in terms, because there is no common body when it comes to a lot of connected TV and OTT. So the measurement part is where...
We'll come to the
gets-
challenges.
gets
Now we were
questioned.
talking about have you. We'll come to the challenges. You actually jumping the gun. But have you, since you're creating content, who owns the IP?
So if it is a concept which you have built, most of the times, and this is what I've seen also in the industry, is that the brands tend to own.
So you own the IP of the
Yes.
reality. Aren't you being tempted to launch a fast channel?
Not to
Aren't you being tempted to launch a fast channel?
channel.
A fast channel on Samsung or on LG, if you have content.
See, I'll be honest. It looks very lucrative for every marketer to create.
You have the content, it's lying on your shelf.
Trust me, ask the content guys and they will tell you the pain. And I have also worked at least for close to a decade in 2 of the biggest content creation companies in the country. Creating content is very difficult.
No, but you have the content, it's lying on your shelf.
But
Still no.
trust me, consumer wants variety. Consumer, for them, even a full...
So these are
trying
one-off
on-
pieces. These are one-off.
These are one-off pieces.
Okay.
Creating contents in a sustainable way, in an engaging way, 24/7 is very, very difficult. And let's keep that job with the experts. I think that is how I would probably see it.
Okay, Ashu, now on to you. Don't mind me calling her. I know your full name is Ashutosh, but I prefer Ashu. I don't know if your friends call you that. But so he talked about the opportunities that brands get with connected TVs. What are the challenges on connected TVs?
A couple of challenges. That one is that discoverability of content. Like so much content there, but you're not able to discover. I think that, and I have not seen someone. I mean, I see a lot of work happening, but clearly there's not one platform. If I want to search a piece of content which is available across any and every connected TV or OTT app, then it still is not there. So if I just type Google and say I want to see this show, that is the best I can do at this point in time, which is not there on any. So the discoverability is a big thing. So like we're launching fast channels, it is becoming difficult for us to uh, tell people. This is very platform specific. That is one. Second, for content owners like us, I think in spite of all the addressability that we talk, the data is not being shared with us. The real-time data dashboards are not being shared, which is very surprising even after 4-5 years of connected TV reaching this place. So we are not able to tweak our content or segment the content in terms of what audience want, which show is doing good, what time band is doing good. Those learnings are still not very forthcoming, which I would have loved to see happen. So broadly, these are two. And then monetization in India is still, the larger platforms can still give you a sizable or decent revenue. But the long tail that is coming, and hopefully they will create the traction. Every day there is a new OTT platform coming in or a platform coming in wanting to take content, but we don't see the monetization not happening. So in the first year of cycle, people are ready to pay, we are a paid channel, people are ready to pay you MGs, but third month, all the contracts are gone because it's not sustainable after a point. So the monetization if you're not a significant player, it is still not there for us, for our kind of content, I think. So these are broadly three things that we see as a challenge.
So you're a platform, and you own the content. But like he said, if you were to put your content on your platform, you're not a fast channel. You're not a TV manufacturer. Would you share data with him? And don't say yes, because I don't think you would.
No, so see, again, it all depends. We don't allow trackers to be put when it comes to our platform.
So
yes.
the brand doesn't get to know what the
No,
impressions are?
They get to know depending upon if they are running their ads. There are, trackers.
You have CTRs and all that?
We give them the Google report. There is, a lot of double verify. There is Nielsen, all those tools are there, which are.
No, but do this CTV platforms, you'll also as an OTT platform.
So from CTV perspective, if they're running their ads, video inventory, we'll give them all what they want. We can put all the filters that they want to reach out to the right end consumer. But when it comes to my shows that I am doing, those are the places where no platform today is allowing to actually put, like how Bark is there, where you are trying to take 10,000 or 20,000 TVs and then, doing that report. Here, we are not allowing that. None of the platforms are actually giving that access, that what exactly is happening and how much views are happening. But so that's how every OTT platform today is working.
CTV, is Arha's app available across LG OS, Samsung?
It is.
Everywhere?
Yes.
But you don't get a count of how many downloads are happening? Or you get a count?
No, we get a count. We know
The
how
platforms
many.
share with you?
Yes. So I know Arha app, like my Arha app, how many downloads have happened on Fired Stick, how many on Jio TV, how many on LG or Samsung TV. I know by device. I can give you all that bifurcation if you want.
Why is that? Is it because at your end you can monitor it?
Yeah, at my end I can
But
monitor.
at the platform end, they're not sharing the data with especially, let's say, a person like him as far as fast is concerned.
I don't think so.
You don't think they're not sharing?
No, so that's where the gap is right now. But let's see, it'll get bridged for sure.
So is that a problem that the data is not being shared as far as fast is concerned?
See, I'll tell you from a lens of any brand is that, see, today every brand knows the importance of the platform, connected, when I'm saying platform, connected TV. Brands are also planning for connected TV. But in the absence of a common body, what happens typically is that you don't know. At the end of the day, there is limited media dollars. So you actually don't know where you will get the best bang for your buck, where also your audiences are probably spending time, because OTT platforms are also a lot, like at least.
No, I'm talking about fast. Fast.
Okay.
I'm not talking about OTT.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a service like his, where he's creating a tech channel because he's got a lot of tech content.
Yeah.
So he's bundling together 300 episodes of this tech news bulletin or tech program.
Right.
And he's putting it out onto Samsung or he's putting it onto LTV as an app, which is then run as a fast channel. So have you all used fast at any stage?
No.
Programmatically also no?
No. So I'll tell you, see, again, I'll go back to that measurement point is that, see, at the end of the day, you're commissioning a fast channel by virtue of putting
A genre into one.
a content into a
One
bucket
one.
and then making.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whether it is working, not working, how many people are watching, all those pieces beyond a point, if you don't get a comparative analysis, then you don't know whether that is working versus my regular TV channel working. Because that is also an investment. Buying GRP on a TV channel is also investment. I have limited media dollars. So whether it is fast, whether it is OTT, whether it is anything, if I don't get a comparison, and I'll go back to the times is that like probably a decade back, when as digital marketers, we used to also get questioned is that, okay, we are spending 10% of the overall A&P on digital, how effective it is, the consumers, you reach out via digital, is it the same as consumer getting reached out via TV? At that point of time, it was a TV versus digital conversation. Today, we are having conversation within digital where we are saying that, hey, this platform versus that platform, and within platforms, this screen size versus that screen size. It will always be a challenge when you have limited, and it will be a challenge. You have limited monies, you'll have to figure out the best way to reach out to the consumer. If you don't get a comparison between the platforms, it will always be difficult for you to take the correct decision.
How would you like to see it evolve, this entire connected TV bit, the fast side, the OTT side, and the linear television, which could be streamed? So fast is a genre-wise program, OTT is a VOD kind of thing, and linear television, which will be streamed across like an NDTV profit, which is being just streamed rather than being via. How do you see all of this evolving?
I wish I had the third eye, but I don't have, unfortunately. But maybe my guess is that there will be some amount of consolidation which will happen. That is my guess and best guess I can think of. Because if you go back also some 6-7 years back, there was plethora of OTT which came up. Then there was some kind of consolidation which happened. Now what's happening is that there are niche OTTs, there are platforms who are good at creating a certain genres and kind of content. There are platforms who have become experts in commissioning content only, and they are not even looking at distribution anymore. So they have moved away from distribution. They are just looking at commissioning content, creating content, IP. So a lot of this thing is still evolving, and I see probably till the end of this decade, it will continue to happen, and God knows how, in which direction.
Yeah, and there's another problem. Most of the content that's watched on connected TVs today is YouTube. That's another challenge. And are you serving that audience?
I don't see it as a challenge because if people are spending more time on YouTube, as marketers, I would try to reach out to them where they're watching, their watch time is more. If I go back to the days of linear television, we used to plan for media basis where the time spent is more, where the audiences are more. So it is all about where the consumer is. That's why my starting point was that it will always be a consumer first approach, because otherwise it's a hearsay. It's like about, okay, fine, this is how my gut feel is. You should always try to reach out to the consumer. If the consumer is spending time on linear TV, this channel, that channel, it's
linear stream television versus linear satellite delivered television or cable delivered.
In fact, if you ask me, even this linear stream television is also which has, and I think he might be in a better space to comment on that, but at least whatever I have seen from a data perspective or with my experiences, it is super evolving. It is evolving fast, because if as a consumer, I would want a one-stop destination for me, and I've gotten say a Fire Stick connection, I would want everything to be via that, and I'll not take a DTH connection separately, this thing. And that's why, and that's the exact reason I started the conversation, is that everybody has evolved because consumer has evolved. So that's how, at the end of the day, I somehow believe if your content is great, irrespective of the screen size, analog / digital, anything and everything, you will end up watching that content no matter what. And that's the exact reason, if you go back to his point where he's saying that people are releasing cult classics in 4K because that was a good piece of content, I will go and rewatch that piece of content rather than a subpar movie in a movie theater or a TV show or a web series which got released. Let's be very honest, it's such a cutthroat competition. Probably 1 out of 20 web series fly. 19 of them don't fly. It's a tough market. Creating good content is tough. So let's give that experience to the consumer and accordingly serve your ads and reach out to the consumer. That is how I would say.
Yeah, Ashutosh, how do we see this evolving? Like I said, you'll also be streaming, you'll also be delivering content via satellite. You'll be on free dish with some channels. You'll be having LG OS on which you'll have your tech thing. Then you'll have your NDTV streamed as a full linear channel. And then how do you see this entire universe of connected TV evolving?
So I think that is a lot of work on the tech side is happening now. I mean, in fact, if you see, Jio is now building a whole web OS.
Sorry, that was a financial company. Had to take it. Yeah.
So like I was saying, you see now Jio is building a whole web OS wherein they have so much content on Jio TV. Now you don't need a box to watch. If you integrate the web OS onto your platform, all the content invariably comes to you. So for us, just to add Sujay's point, is that wherever my audience is and wherever he's viewing, I have to be available because I'm a news brand. And second, I would hope that it has to be a very collaborative approach. It should not go the TV route. It's a very exciting medium. And we're still seeing that same thing happening, where, like I'm saying, data is not coming or people are working in silos. It should not go the TV medium where we're questioning the rating system and it is flawed or whatever. It's an exciting medium. It should be more collaborative approach. I think only then we can see it grow to its true potential. The way it is growing is already at 40 million. By next year, we're expecting it to be there and it can easily go up to 100 million sometime in less than what we expected the growth to happen. So it should be a more collaborative approach, I think. Otherwise, it will just go the same mess that TV is currently in.
Yeah. How do you see this world evolving? I mean, Netflix at once experimented with linear channels actually in France. So they took their content, some content, and they streamed it as a linear service rather than as a VOD service. Currently, you put out you have different versions of your app. Do you ever see Arha Media, ever going a linear way? And how do you see this entire universe of linear, OTT, fast? Do you see yourself launching fast?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you what is happening. One, as Sujay mentioned, content is the king today, right? And if the content is good, people will just watch it anywhere, wherever it is available. That happened with Scam 1992, right? It changed the fortunes of Sony Live. That's, I think, the most successful show that they launched in fiction. For us also now, what is happening is since there is so much of content, people are spoiled by choices. They don't know what to watch, right? On a Friday, they know because most of the content today, even on OTT, is getting released on Fridays. So on Friday or maximum Saturday, they would know a new piece of content has come and they'll watch. But everybody needs entertainment throughout the week. Now from Sunday to the next Friday, they don't know what to watch because when you go onto an app, first of all, there are 10 different apps. Now out of those 10
Actually,
different apps,
60 or 70.
yeah, so, the top apps I'm talking about, right? One or two regional of the language that I speak and then, the national apps. Now when you go inside one of the app, there are hundreds and thousands of content pieces which are lying there.
And there are fast channels.
Yeah, and then you don't know what to watch. So
But
that is one of the reasons that fast channel came. That let me program it, a genre for you, and if you like that genre, we'll continuously keep playing the movies throughout 24 hours. So whenever you switch that on, you can start watching it. You don't have to choose and look for a content. We'll give it to you. So that's one of the reasons why it came ahead. I think even in future, consolidation for sure will happen. One thing which is happening now is meaningful content will become the most important thing. And that's what we've seen. People are now making choices that if they want to watch a particular movie in theater, they will actually go and watch it. If they want to wait for 30 days and wanted to watch it on Netflix or a Prime or a Arha video, they'll wait for it to come on OTT platform and then watch it in their home screen. So that's, I think, for all us content creators, it's a clear message that today consumer has access to not just Indian content, but world over content in any language with subtitles. So we have to up the game, to make brilliant content for people to stick onto our OTT platforms or onto any particular, fast or streaming. And the moment we are able to make it, brands will only follow that content and will start investing in those content.
My perspective on this is that there'll be a proliferation of fast channels. We barely scratch the surface of fast channels.
They will be, because
OTT, we've kind of reached a bit of a saturation point. Yet, just 4 days ago, a Punjabi OTT launched, or 5 days ago. Forgotten the name, but it launched in Punjab with movies, Punjabi movies. Then EOR TV has just launched, which is an OTT. We'll reach, there won't be so many OTTs, but you'll have a lot of fast channels coming in because everyone wants to go the fast way and it's in its infancy in India. Advertisers have not taken up to it. Programmatic advertising is not giving us enough CPMs, not enough good enough CPMs. So they will exist, as will a linear stream channel, as will the satellite delivered channel, because India is many Indias. It's not one India.
absolutely. And the best part of India
Not
is
consolidation. Consolidation,
No,
not
so
consolidation.
the best-
What happened for a long
See,
time.
Today, the problem that I face is very different from what a Hotstar or a JioCinema is facing in terms of fill rates. My problem is different. Since I cater to a particular regional market and it's so very specific targeting is there, I'm actually dealing with a problem where I'm not able to serve the impressions which the advertisers are giving it on my platform because I'm running with full fill rates, right? So for me, what is going to happen is my whole content library is being made where I want the consumer to stick on to Arha, number one. Number two, I don't want him to come on one day in a week. So my content is being made Monday to Thursday. I'm doing daily series. Friday is a movie release. Saturday, Sunday is a non-fiction show. So they have a Monday to Sunday entertainment ongoing, which is there. Now coming to fast channels. I am already in talks with a music label where I want to curate a fast channel which will be morning devotional, afternoon something else, evening and night will be more like a DJ party kind of songs which are continuously playing 24-hour playlist, right? Regional.
So you're not consolidating.
Yeah, no.
झूठ बोला पहले.
No, so see, consolidation.
Don't mind me.
No, झूठ नहीं बोला, but अगर market में if there is some big player who has so much of money that he is ready to buy you off.
You'll have money. Good.
I'm not talking about myself, but a player which we all know who's bought a giant like Star. Regional platforms are like he's there shopping right now, right? So it can happen anytime for sure.
So you will launch fast channels. You'll also. Do you see yourself ever creating a linear channel apart from fast? That means taking all your programming, don't take a genre, don't take a category, but take all your shows and put it and program it, schedule it.
That also was one of the discussions which was going on, that do we go to a backward integration? Like today, forward integration is that from a linear you're opening up a OTT. We started a Arha OTT first. So do we actually open up a free-to-air channel right now and put our old programming into that and start monetizing, because we also belong to TV9 News.
Absolutely.
So can we actually do a entertainment? So that is also part of the strategy. Again, might happen, might not, depends all on investments and the revenue model that will come up.
So it's not as simple as you think, consolidation, Sujay. It's going to get complicated.
So, I'll tell you, when I'm saying consolidation, it will be in terms of players. When it comes to opening up avenues, it will be the formats. So fast I see as a format of content. Because at the end of the day, if the genre is comedy and comedy content is good comedy, then only that fast channel will fly. If the comedy content is rubbish, no matter what kind of format,
Sure, I get that. I get that.
do.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why I said consolidation in terms of, and you see that thing globally. So globally also, when you see all the big 4 or 5 networks, there is some amount of consolidation. I'm not even touching.
Oh, you're talking at a larger level, not in terms of, okay, I stand corrected.
Consolidation will happen because at the end of the day, let's be very honest, creating good content needs a lot of investment.
Sure.
And it's not easy. And the fact is that the consumer is spoiled for choice. He or she will look at, okay, let's watch this, let's watch that. And then investing so much in a content piece, and then that content piece is not delivering numbers, and then it's related to viewership and then your revenue. It's a tough job. These are formats. That is how I see it. Which format will click, nobody knows. At one point of time, people were just all the platforms were saying that, oh, let's stick to those 6-seconder, 10-seconders. Now, in the last couple of years, every brand is also slowly moving back to a 15-seconder and 30-seconder in terms of brand storytelling. Because yes, there is an attention deficit. The screen sizes are small. The advertiser also wants to reach out to consumer multiple times and this and that. But at the same point of time, if you have an engaging ad, if you have an engaging piece of brand story to tell, people are also watching it for 10-15 seconds. So not that everything is 6-seconder nowadays and everything has to be a thumb-stopping content, if I have to put it.
Well said. So let's have last words from each of you all on the connected TV puzzle. I hope we've unraveled it in some way for the audience and for each of us. If we haven't, my apologies. I put in my best and they've put in the best. Maybe my questioning has not been perfect, but last words on the CTV puzzle.
I think it's still a puzzle. And all the three, I would say three parties, the content creators, the platforms, and the marketers, we are probably trying together to figure it out, because at the end of the day, the consumer sits at the center, and then the platforms are trying to figure out the best experiences. The content creators are trying to reach out to them with the best content, and the marketers are also trying to reach out to them with a good marketing messaging or the relevant products, so that at the end of the day, the consumer gets benefit. All of us are consumers in some or the other way, that ways if you see. So that is how I see the holy triangle, and the consumer sits at the center.
Ashutosh?
I think I've pretty much said everything. There's nothing what to add, actually.
Nitin, now you've got to come up with something smart and wise.
No, so I think connected TV is here to stay for sure. It's a big opportunity because it's not going to be urban phenomenon anymore. And the way internet is penetrating in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities of this country, the moment, that part of India gets exposed to internet, to connected TV, and today nobody is selling a linear TV, to be honest, right? So the moment that affordability comes in and they are selling those in the region, rural part, the regional part, the real India that we call today, right? That's the biggest opportunity that we'll have. And the moment that hits, I think everything will start following. The brands, the content, all of them, will
And
look at
data should follow too. That's the only thing which is missing. The missing end of the puzzle, the data.
the creator.
The
Absolutely.
data which is not being shared by the platforms.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. A big round of applause to the panelists. They've been fabulous. And I didn't mean to be rude when I said Juta. Please don't mind it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. It was absolutely a fantastic discussion. I request everyone to please come together for a wonderful photo op moment. And I'm certain that we all have enjoyed the panel discussion and the summit thoroughly. We had a fantastic audience over here today. Thank you so much for being a part of it.